Hey guys, gals, and morons, check this out. I want to show you what this is. You can see this is where we put the epoxy in, and it sticks real good. I'll tell you that. But I want you to notice what I've been saying from day one on this car. So there's where parts of the foam was, but it's a lot of open areas. And if you look at the metal of the car, yeah, that's steel. That you see the shiny part steel. Look how thick that Vibraflex is. That's over half an inch of Vibraflex in this roof. I've measured it. That's over half an inch right here. All the way through the car. It's half an inch. So what was making the car so hard on the top is the actual Vibraflex. I'm giving you these lessons so you don't have the same issues, blah, blah, blah. Vibraflex is killer when it's cold. The top of this car was cleaned with alcohol. I did the videos. The videos were, look guys, if you don't understand, go back and look at the videos. I did the videos on the car. When we done the inside, it was clean with alcohol, 99%. All right. 3 layers of Vibraflex were put on, and in some places there were up to 4. Mainly up here and in the floorboard. Back here is 3 exactly in the back. There's up to 4 up here. All right. This has got the great stuff that was put in the front. I said I don't use great stuff. I use the Red Devil. The great stuff I don't like. But this is what JJ Designs put in here. The problem was it didn't fill the whole roof. It just was in splotches, because once it expands, it won't keep pushing it out. No, you think it would, but it won't. So I'm showing you what this does. This surface was cleaned, okay? And this will show you how good it was cleaned. It literally pulled the paint up with me trying to pull this up. I can show you. I can pull it up, but it's going to pull the paint up. It's not pulling the epoxy's holding. It's just holding to whatever it could hold on to. So you see, I just pulled that piece off. It's pulling the paint off. That's bare metal. No, that's not Bondo. That's not rust. It's literally pulling the paint off. So epoxy does stick good. I mean, that's obvious. See, that's pulling the paint. It's not primer. That's bare metal. But if you look down in there, you'll see how thick that Vibraflex is. So the problem is with this Vibraflex, I've used Vibraflex and Sundown in this car. This car has both brands in it. It's the same shit, pretty much. And you'll see it done it here. Now, the only weak place that I can find really in the car right now is right here. And you can tell by the sound. Hopefully you'll be able to tell by the sound. I'm going to hit the car. I'm going to hit and listen when it changes. Hear that? Listen. You hear how hard? I'm just going to move my hand. That's a hollow spot. That's a hollow spot. Now, the problem is it's not hollow really between the board inside and the actual roof. This is where the Vibraflexes came off the roof. Yeah. Now there's a channel that runs down through here. I would probably be wise to drill holes here and fill it either with epoxy or the Red Devil here, because this is a big ass, like a 2x4 channel that's hollow. Now, but it's hard. You hear the difference? That's because it's been layered 4 times. But right in here, it's actually, you could push down on the metal a little bit. That's where the Vibraflex doesn't stick to the actual roof, when it gets hot, it will separate. So my suggestion is, if you do Vibraflex, because this is what everybody says, hey man, it's the best, that's what you use. No. My advice would be to put some, when you get ready to do your Vibraflex, heat the roof, take you some Kraken, put the Kraken glue, say in a square, maybe swirl it on a thin layer, put your Vibraflex on, but leave your edge of your Vibraflex, because the Vibraflex will stick as you roll it. But just say, make you a couple stripes of the glue, the Kraken, put your Vibraflex on, then heat it, then roll it with a steel roller. You got to melt it real good. This roof, when I did this car, was so hot it would fry an egg on it. I'm not even kidding. You could lay an egg on it and literally fry an egg through that paint, but the paint wouldn't bubble. So I would say put some kind of glue. I would do Kraken, guys. You do whatever glue you want to use, but I'm going to promise you that Kraken glue is the best shit there is. You put that right there, and that would keep the metal from separating from the actual Vibraflex, because that's what's happened here. That's what's giving it that funny sound. It's solid, but listen to the difference. You hear the difference? It's solid as rock through here. Look, that is not moving. That's clear. You can see down in there, and you can see that is a 1/2 inch thick of Vibraflex. So I don't want nobody to tell me, oh, that car is not put together right, you didn't do it the right way. And this is what I've been saying all along. When you don't see this car vibrating like other cars, it's because this damn thing's built like a tank, guys. I mean, it's hard as hell. Let me go over here and I'll show you where it's pulling the paint off. We're going to address this tomorrow. I'm not worried about the paint. The car's getting painted anyway. But what had happened when we let the car down, I knew some was going to ooze down, which it did. It oozed down here, and like I told you, it expanded overnight. It oozed down and it run down in this channel, which is fine because it's not going to stick to that dirty rubber. I didn't clean that rubber for a reason, because if it ran down in there, I could just pull it out with a screwdriver, come out just easy. But you can see right there, you see how that metal is? You see that Vibraflex is thick as hell in there. Same thing with here, but see, it literally pulled the paint up. That's how good that epoxy sticks if the surface is clean. Now if I'd have left it all dirty as hell, it wouldn't have made it probably wouldn't have stuck so much, but I wanted it where it stuck. So you'll see right here as I plucked it up, you could pluck it up with your finger, sometimes your fingernail, and get it to come up like right there, and you start getting it to work its way up, and you can pull it back, but then it's going to start peeling the paint up. See that right there? I can just peel it, but it's not the epoxy letting loose, it's the paint's coming off. No, this part of this car has not been repainted. This is all new. This is brand new up here. So you'll see the metal is in pristine condition. That is not Bondo. That is not primer. As far as, well, it's got to have some kind of primer, but that is actually metal right there. I mean, you can see where I scratched it. That's steel. So this is not a Bondoed roof car. Look how thick that Vibraflex is right there. And like I said, I used both kinds. See, that's hard. I mean, you take a hammer to it, it's not going to hurt it. But the only place I noticed it being where the Vibraflex didn't stick to the actual top of the roof is over here. And like I said, you can go through. It's just like when you're trying to find a stud in a wall. You can hear the sound in the car being different. See, right there it's hollow. That's because that's that channel running through here. Now I'm gonna ask Matt tomorrow. I said, I'm gonna say, do you want me to fill this? But it might do it a little bit of good to leave it like this, because that way it'll give the windshield a little bit of cushion to absorb vibration, instead of it being so stiff here that the window becomes the brittle point. I want it to flex a little bit up here, because this is a street machine. This is not no extreme build. This is just a demo car. Yeah, we're running on a stock windshield. That's stock window. Every window in it's stock. It's never been changed. But I wanted you to see how this stuff does. This is a 50-50 blend, and this is a art epoxy. But you'll see how it started coming up and rolling out. When we finished the car, it was smooth. And then some places it had settled a little bit more, but we're gonna sand that down. And I think what we're gonna do is use, I think it's called Fiberall, I believe it's what it's called. I believe it's called Fiberall. It's like a Bondo that's got fiberglass in it, basically. You'll see right here's pieces of the metal and stuff where we had drilled out, and the rubber, that's what all that is not rubber, but the asphalt. That's where it had drilled out. So I want you guys to see how it turned out. If you plan on doing the same thing to your car, what I recommend is putting some kind of adhesive, like a good glue, on the Vibraflex before you put it on the roof. Because what'll happen is this, like I said, the metal is not touching the Vibraflex. It's just got a space, and what happens when it gets hot and it expands and contracts, you know, heat makes stuff expand, cold it contracts. So right now it's contracted, and you can just hear the difference. Right there's a hollow spot. Hear the difference? I'm not changing the way I'm hitting it. Hear that hollow? And it's not, I poured 3.5 gallons in this roof without going into this channel. This channel was blocked off. The only way I can get in this channel is to drill into the channel, which I'd rather not do that. But I'm going to go tomorrow. We're going to sand this down. But I did want you to see. You see how thick that is? And remember, that metal part you see is the sheet metal. It's thick on this roof. Now look down in there and you'll see, guys, that is very thick Vibraflex. And that's why I say, don't look at somebody's car flippity flopping and going and think it's doing something, because it really ain't. No, it ain't doing shit. You see how thick that is? And just wanted you to see what the scoop was. So what I would do, this one right here did really good. See how thick that Vibraflex is? And if you do this, you need to use like Flex Seal on the inside of the car. We didn't have but a couple leaks, which was right here and right here. And what I did is we took a vacuum cleaner and put it on blow mode and pushed it down in the holes, and I got inside the car, and wherever I felt air coming through, I taped it up. And it leaked in a couple places, but we had, like I said, we had mats and shit down in there where it didn't get inside the car or nothing. No, it didn't mess none of the car up. But see, if I'd have left this dusty up there, the epoxy wouldn't have stuck. So we cleaned it all off, and it stuck so good it just peeled the paint up. You see right there, that's where I gouged it with a screwdriver. That's me. That's paint where I was going trying to get it off. But I'll sand this down with a DA tomorrow, and then take it to mats, and we'll put that Fiberall on and probably grind this down inside here just a little bit and get that Fiberall down in there instead of putting steel in it. That epoxy's hard as that damn metal. Hell, it's harder than that metal, because when you pull this shit up, it wants to pull the metal up. Yeah, that epoxy's hard. So, but we want to put that on there so in case it wants to try to move, but it doesn't move. The outside of the car doesn't move any. It's the inside that was the problem. but we wanted to make it as solid as possible. Try not to drag this video out long, just wanted to show you what the results were and why it looks like this. This is literally pulling the paint up. So if you plan on putting Vibraflex or Sundown and you think that's going to work you miracles, it's not going to work you miracles in the summer. Epoxy's not going to change in the summer. Hell no, it's going to stay this hard just like it is right now. Once it dries, it's going to be hard like concrete. Now it can crack. Matter of fact, I've got 8 layers on the baffle inside this car on the port, and it's starting to split. That's why I was telling you, the little car doing a little more than you think. It's splitting the damn port, guys. I mean, with 8 layers of epoxy and it's braced and good God almighty glued and everything else, it's literally splitting in places, which it can be fixed, no problem, but I wanted you to see what the scoop was here. You guys have a great day. Take care. I don't know who's going to sponsor this video. I think we'll sponsor it by Outdoor World. Let's see, Outdoor World Car Audio Incorporated LLC, Birdhouse in the Tree, sponsorship. Please like and subscribe, buy merch and stuff, and a fucking hat and everything. You guys take care. I'll talk to you later. See you.